Hey guys, this is not the biggest budget video that I've ever done before, but I've gotten it requested so many times, so I'm gonna do it. I've always decided against doing a jewelry tour in the past because I felt that my collection wasn't as extensive as it should be, and I tended to use the same things over and over and over again, kind of regardless of era within the 70s. But I think it's gotten pretty decent sized over the past few months. I've really been investing a lot in my career. So okay, let's start by going through necklaces. So starting down here next to my awesome Candids from 1967, or sorry, 68. Got a Kenpo fist from B&K Enterprises. Elvis wore this in 1974. Moving up, you have the blue Ankh from 72. And I also got my Seattle World's Fair cut from 1962 when Elvis filmed It Happened at the World's Fair. I got that at the Space Needle. This is my lion's head necklace. This is from Kurt Butterfield. Very, very nice fella. We did a trade. I traded him a pair of my EP Accessories black initial Elvis replica pajamas for a couple things, and this was one of the things in that trade. This is a Kui Lee necklace. Elvis wore this in Aloha from Hawaii. This was a gift from my friend John Chapman, as was a lot of this stuff, actually, that I've gotten over the past few months. John's been very, very generous with it. This right here is from Lowell Hayes as well. I got this earlier this year. Elvis could be seen wearing this nugget cross in 1970. I believe this is the same necklace that he gave to Nick Anderlakis, the chef who delivered the Fool's Gold Loaf to him in 1976 for Lisa's birthday. I'm pretty sure it's the same necklace. I remember Nick showing me the necklace that he was wearing and said Elvis gave it to him, and there was a picture of him wearing it, and I'm pretty sure it was this one. Also over here, this is another thing from the Kurt Butterfield collection. He uses a lot of the same molds as B&K. Ram's Head, Elvis wore this in 1973. Lion's Head necklace, one of my favorite necklaces that I just got. I felt that I really needed to add it to my collection because Elvis wore it so much in 71, which is an era that I do a lot of and have a lot of casual wear from, and it was getting to the point where it was just one of those things that I needed to buy. One of these days, I would love to upgrade to the Lowell Hayes version, but it's about $300. This is a B&K version. I think it was 80. This right here is Elvis's birthday necklace. He wore this, I think in 1966, I want to say he got this. But I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, it's very, very cool. This just came in the mail the other day from B&K. But it's a very, very cool necklace. It's got a ruby right there. I think this is on display with the VIP tour in Graceland when they take you to the private VIP room. I think, thinking back that was on it, on the tour. Sorry. Liberty coin necklace. Elvis wore this 1960 coming home from the Army. He might have worn it too in 1957. There's some pictures of him wearing a necklace that looks like this from a distance. I'm not sure if it's the same necklace though. Over here, Tree of Life necklace. The Memphis Mafia gave Elvis this necklace for his 30th birthday in 1965. As you can see on the tree, it has his name and it has all the guys in the Memphis Mafia who gave him the gift together. You could see him wearing this necklace all throughout the film Harem Scarum. You could see it real clear on the song So Close Yet So Far. It's something that not a lot of people take note of. This is just my squash blossom necklace. This is like a $20 squash blossom from eBay. I haven't been able to get the exact one yet, but it's something I'd like to do. Getting into bracelets. This is the Elvis on Tour bangle cuff that he wore on the April 1972 tour. This is, of course, his ID bracelet. Elvis's was like a nugget gold, and Lowell makes an amazing one out of nugget gold. I think he made the original that I would one day love to upgrade to. This is from ElvisBelts.com, I think. This was one of the first pieces of Elvis jewelry that I ever bought. And as you could tell, I wear it all the time because there's more rust on it than there is gold paint. That's something that's in serious need of an upgrade. This right here is brand new from Lowell Hayes. This is another gift from John. It's Elvis's Crazy bracelet. You could see him wearing this as early as the November 1970 tour. He would stack these two bracelets together. I can't think of him wearing it earlier than that. There's a really good shot of him in his police uniform in 1976 in Denver, where you could see that very, very clearly on his wrist. This watch right here, I kind of use just as my cheapy version of Elvis's Coram Buckingham, which I'm trying to put together right now, and a buddy of mine is also trying to put one together. But they go for like 10 grand for non-Elvis owned ones, and I think Elvis's only went for 18,000 a couple years ago. And when I say only, I mean, it's still $18,000, but considering that it's Elvis owned versus not Elvis owned, $8,000 is not that big of an increase. It's just the watch itself is valuable. This right here is a pin that we sell at EP Accessories. It's like the pin that Elvis wore a lot. 1973. You could see him wearing this pin in the pictures of when he got his divorce from Priscilla. This right here is one of the very first gifts I got from my friend John. Right early when we were just, had recently met, and John was still, more of a fan and not, really a great friend yet. He gave me this, which was worn by a buddy of his that was in the who was in the Iowa State Legislature, and for a while I had this pinned on my 1969 white waisted jacket, the pocket jacket, but since I've listed that item for sale in case anybody wants it, I've since taken it off and put it right here, and I still put it on occasion because it's a really cool pin. Right, getting into the rings, this right here was a gift from my biggest fan, Janet Henkin, before she passed away. It belonged to her late son, who she lost when he was very young. And this belonged to him, and she gave it to me, and she's gone now, but she was one of the most wonderful ladies you'd ever meet in your life. And so she's given me a lot of rings over the years, but I have some more rings in my personal jewelry collection that she gave me. She gave me 3 of them. But this one, it seems like something Elvis would have worn in like 1955, 1956. This over here is my cheapy version of Elvis's Burn in Love stage ring. B&K sells a decent replica of the Burn in Love stage ring, but it's like $130, and B&K's jewelry is not worth $130, being completely honest, because it's gold painted. They say it's gold plated, but I think it's gold painted because you sweat right through the gold really, really quick. And a lot of this stuff is B&K, and I'll show you like how quickly it tarnishes. But I got this on eBay for like $20. And it's just, a cheap piece of costume jewelry. And I don't really wear it all the time because it's not entirely authentic, but it's still a pretty cool ring. If I'm wearing my Burn in Love suit, this is always on my finger. This right here, wow, another gift. People are very generous. This right here, my very first Elvis festival when I was 14 years old, Lake George Elvis Festival, there was a guy whose brother owned the arena, and he was out working like the car lot, and he saw me perform, and he gave me this ring right afterwards. And since then, the stone has fallen out of the center. It's glass. It's zirconia. It's not diamond. The gold is real, but it's zirconia, so it's not a huge deal. I can replace the stone in there because it's a beautiful, beautiful ring. And before I got married, as you can see my wedding ring right there, I wore this ring every single day. And I should probably put it back on my other finger, or on my other hand, because it's a beautiful, beautiful ring. Then, B&K Enterprises, as you can see, the 68 comeback special ring that I have right here, this was my first one, and the stone fell out, and I asked them how much for a new stone, which should be like 10 cents, and they said, no, we'll just send you another ring. So they sent me this one. I guess they just had it laying around and they didn't have access to the stones. So yeah, so they sent me a new ring because the stone fell out of this one and I lost it. And the stone's actually fallen out of that one too, but luckily I found it and I glued it into place. You can see a little bit of glue around there. So yeah, that's my 68 comeback special ring. I still wear this one on occasion. I think it's a cool kind of like 50s looking ring. So it's one of them. When I was in Tupelo Elvis Festival, I saw a ring on display from an Elvis auction site, from an Elvis auction booth, and I can't remember what it was. And it was literally this ring. The only difference is it was gold inside, and it was kind of like an engraved crucifix. So I started researching the ring, and I found that it was made by a company. What was it called? It's in here somewhere. 1 second. Maybe it's not in there. That's weird. Okay, well, I researched the ring. If you put in the Elvis crucifix ring, you can find pictures of it. And it actually looks a lot closer to this. It seems more like that size. This one's a little bit smaller now. And I found that the company still makes the ring, and a little bit smaller, a little bit cheaper, not as nice as Elvis's was. It was called like Setar or something, Setar off the top of my head. I found this on Amazon. It was like $15. And I was like, it's the same brand, it's the same ring, for the most part. I gotta get it. So I think this is like my mid 60s ring. Like if I'm doing something like 1966, 1967, this is probably what I'll put on because it seems like it'd be from that era. It also said that he gave it to Patsy, and I feel like most of the stuff he gave to Patsy came like 66, 67. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's just kind of off the top of my head how I feel he gave a lot of his stuff away. This right here is a cool ring. I can't even get it out. It's just gold, and it's got a little brown wood-looking stone in it. It matches my wedding ring real well, so I got it. It's more from my personal jewelry collection. I don't wear it a ton, but it looks kind of 50s, so I keep it over here. It was from TJ Maxx. It was like $20. Then we have both of Elvis's wedding rings. This one is from Chinese wholesale. I got it for $13, and as you can see, it's completely rusted out after like one wear. This one, on the other hand, is from B&K, about $60, I want to say, when I got it. The prices have increased since then, but it's a decent replica. The only thing I would say is that Elvis's was cut like a parallelogram, so like the stones went like that, and then like that on the other side. You can see some really clear shots of him wearing that in the 1968, or 1960, was it 68 or 69? I think it was 69 photo sessions. It was put on the cover of Suspicious Minds. He was wearing that ring, and he also stacked them a lot. You could see pictures of him stacking them at the 1969 press conference, and he did that quite a bit. I think he also stacked them in the 68 special on his wedding ring hand, and then he had this on his right pinky. Going over here, just a couple more things. This is a ring that a very, very nice young ETA named Hunter Cole gave me backstage in Memphis at Images of the King 2 years ago. And that was when I first met Hunter. I was helping him out backstage and showing him some like 70s moves because he was wanting to get into the 70s, and he just took a ring right off his finger and gave it to me. And there's not many young kids who would do that. So, he's a wonderful, wonderful young ETA. You should really go check him out because he's a really, really nice young man. And he gave me that ring, and I love it because, it came from him. This ring is Elvis's coin ring, worn as early as 1969, as late as, I want to say like 71, 72. I can't think of any times that he wore it after that. This here is the bird's nest ring, and I have never noticed a picture of Elvis actually wearing this ring, so if anybody has any pictures of it, please feel free to email them to me, mattstonelive@gmail.com. That's MATTSTONELIVE @gmail.com. I always think of it as like a 71, 72 ring. That's when it seems like it would have been worn. But yeah, there's several companies who sell this, and I'm sure it like sold in an auction or something, but if there's any pictures of Elvis wearing it, please send that to me because I'd love to figure that out. This right here is from Lowell Hayes. It is Elvis's onyx ring, worn 69, 70. There's pictures of him wearing like a similar looking ring in 70, like 71, 72, 73. He had a lot of onyx rings. I'm not sure if it's the same one, but this is definitely the one that he wore in 69, 70, including in the 69 press conference, and that's the way it is in the rehearsals, I believe. And yeah, he wore it a lot. There's a great picture, October 1970, of him looking into a car, and he's got that ring on. This is the EP scroll ring. He wore that to the JCs in 1971. This ring is a beautiful, beautiful ring, exact replica of Elvis's, made by Merijin on Facebook. He is a wonderful guy who makes all kinds of insane replicas of Elvis jewelry and jumpsuits and belts. And he's just a collector. He collects Elvis' own stuff and he makes replicas for himself of just about anything. And he only does it for himself. But he had made this ring, and I asked him what size the mold was in and if he would consider making a second one in the mold because he already had the mold. And he said, sure. So I got one. I don't know if there's any pictures of Elvis wearing it, but it's a really cool ring, so I got it. And last but not certainly but not least, the owl ring. Elvis wore this on his ring finger on the November 1970 tour, and I'm trying to think of some other cases of him wearing it, but that's all that's coming to mind right now. There's some great pics of him in it's either Denver or Seattle where he's got that ring on his ring finger in the November 1970 tour, and I'm pretty sure he also wore it in the That's the Way It Is rehearsals one of the days, but don't quote me on that. So that's my collection. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, follow, subscribe, wherever you're watching this video. Please do all the things to keep your eyes on this channel or this page. Thank you very much. TCB.